Hey guys, how's it going? It's Dmitry here. Guys, in this tutorial we're going to discuss about find and find index methods and how to utilize them in case of JavaScript. So guys, first thing first, you already can see it's an example here, right? I already came up with an example, and I define a basic array, and it contains multiple names, right? So, and then I'm actually using the actual find method, right? So guys, like in generally speaking, find and find index, let's start from find, right? What find is doing, it's iterating through each element of array, and then if it find match, it's going to return you the actual match, right? It's not going to return you like true or false result or something like that. It's just going to return you straight away the actual value, right? You can see guys here, I'm saying if name equal to Kate, and we definitely have one of the elements or one of the values of this array, it's equal to Kate. So obviously it's going to return the Kate value, right, at some stage when it finds the match. And I'm saying if you find the match, return true, but essentially it's going to return the actual value, right? Okay, let's run it, guys. I'm just going to show you that's the case. Okay, here we go, guys. Kate, right? So guys, and if I specify like cat, and this value obviously doesn't, this name doesn't exist in this array, right? So let's run it one more time. So hold on, I didn't save it. So undefined, right? So guys, and let's try one more thing. For instance, eager, and let's run it. Eager, right? So it's actually returning the value, right? The matched value. Okay, guys. Let's move on to find index method. And in this case, I'm going to show you a little bit different example. So let's define, instead of this array, I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to say const countries, and I'm going to specify multiple countries. Okay, let's start from Australia, then Germany, Ukraine, I guess, India, and I guess the last one, let's say Japan. Here we go. And these names, guys, now I'm going to work with this array, right, which is countries, and I say matched country, and instead of find, I'm going to use find index method in this case, and I'm going to say country. Come on, misspelled it. And I'm going to say country and equal to, for example, India. So guys, in this case, find index is going to return the actual index of the match, right? Matched value. For example, in this case, India, it has index because do you remember we start counting from 0, index 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So India going to have an index equal to 3. So, and obviously that's the actual result we should get, right, as a matched country. So let's specify it here, and let's run it, guys. Here you go, guys. Matched country 3. Oh, actually it should be matched index, right? Let's say matched index. Once again, matched index 3, right? So what if it doesn't exist? Then obviously it's -1, right, guys? But it's still returning, right? The most important thing to understand, guys, in case if there are no matched values, it's still going to return a value, and it's always going to be -1, right? So then you can come up with different extra logic, like if it's more than -1, then you can do you can undergo one logic, right? Or you can do some specific steps, otherwise you know, add another step and so on. So yeah, it's up to you basically how to come up with this logic, but the most important thing to understand that, you know, that's the actual behavior, right? If there are no matches, then in this case it's find index method is going to return -1, right? It's still going to return a value, not an undefined value like in case of find method. Hope guys it makes sense. And guys, one more thing, in this case I also need to first of all I'm going to specify an object, a basic object, nothing special about that. I'll just call this straight away object, literally object, and I'm going to say country inside, and I'm going to say Japan. Here we go. So, and what I'm going to do here, I have to specify the standard function, or define the standard function the way we did it before, or we like this arrow functions were introduced. So I'm going to get rid of this arrow function, and what I'm going to say here, I'm going to specify this object here, and then I'm going to say this dot country. And guys, let's see what will happen in this case. Here you go. So it's found the actual index, right? It's returning the actual index. So guys, in this case, it's the most important thing to understand that you know, if you would like to use this object here, or play this object here, so you have to use this standard function, right? So because you can see here I'm binding this object, right? And as a result I'm using this dot and the, you know, the country, which is part of object, right, itself, this parameter, right? So guys, and because this kind of, like, when you implement the standard function, it allows you to define that it, like, you know, you can define a private scope or function scope, right, inside of function, and it's not going to go outside of the actual function, right? But the problem with arrow functions, you cannot define this kind of like, you know, private scope, right? So if you define like the same way, like this dot and so on, you're going to point to global object, right, which is going to be outside of the actual function. So, and in this case, of course, we're not going to have this object, right, because we defined here, right, and so we're using here, right? So, and as a result, it's not going to find any matches, and it's going to return you undefined, guys, in case of the arrow function. I hope, guys, it makes sense. And guys, pretty much I covered everything that I was planning to cover in this tutorial. Guys, if you have any questions, and probably some of you would have some questions, right? Because you know, especially the last part can be a bit tricky to understand, but again, just remember, the key thing is, if you would like to use the object as I did here, you have to use the standard function declaration, right? So guys, thank you very much for watching, and please like this video if you like it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and guys, I will see you next time. Goodbye.